to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Friday, July 2nd, 2021. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I know sometimes we joke about certain people trying to break the internet, but Monday and Tuesday it actually felt like Greene was actually trying to do it. Now, unless you dropped your phone in the toilet or you've been living under a rock for the last 3 days, you've probably already seen these pictures of a 317-pound Greene looking like something straight out of the Marvel Studios. And not only did release those photos on Monday, on Tuesday he turned around and trolled Phil Heath with photos of the two of them side by side because Phil hadn't liked or commented on his photos yet. I have absolutely no desire to go into the whole will he or will he not compete again narrative that I'm sure people are talking about. But I will say this. Nobody's better at selling the art of illusion in bodybuilding than Kai. So if he does have something in the works, I'm sure this won't be the last riddle we end up talking about between now and October. If you guys didn't catch our Wednesday show, we did a segment that featured Justin Rodriguez and Nick Walker guest posing at an event in New Jersey last weekend. And at one point during that segment, I commented on how big Justin was, because he made Nick look comparatively small standing next to him. And now I understand why. According to a report from Justin's camp, he was tipping the scales at 305 earlier this week, which has to make this the biggest and leanest that he's ever been 15 weeks out from a show. I know that Justin has said in the past that he wasn't crazy about having to play the size game, but from the way it looks, he might have changed up his tune. He might not be 340 pounds like Ramy, but he's at that point right now where he has more than enough muscle that he won't be overpowered by anyone. I guess this is what Justin 3.0 looks like, and it'll be interesting to see what the final product looks like when he hits the stage again in October. On Tuesday's show, we hit you guys up with a quick preview of next month's Portugal Pro. And even though we covered a lot of ground, we didn't talk about any of the potential 212 contenders. So I wanted to throw Austin Carr's name out there as one for you to think about. From what I've heard, Austin was originally planning to compete at the Puerto Rico Pro last weekend, but there were some travel issues that held things up. But earlier this week, Austin did say that he could possibly be thinking about making a run for Portugal, which is still about 3 weeks away. There are a lot of people I know who think that Austin is one of the most underrated athletes in the division, and that he actually could be a legitimate top 6 Olympia contender right now. So if he can find a way to earn himself a qualification, we might find out if the top 6 is on the table a lot sooner than we all expected. You remember a few weeks ago when Nathan Asha announced that he was planning to compete at some point this year, and we said we thought that the Arnold UK seemed like a logical landing point. Well, as it turns out, we were right. A few days ago, Nathan announced that he will in fact be competing at the inaugural Arnold UK in October, and that he has every intention of winning that show and then turning around and being even better at the Olympia a few weeks later. All the trials and tribulations that Nathan has gone through over the last year or so have been well documented. So it's nice to see that he's back in a place where he can devote some of his time and energy back to doing what he loves. And if he can deliver one of those vintage performances that we all know he's capable of, hopefully at least to a certain extent, it'll make some of those struggles feel worthwhile. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.